Dogecoin is the second most profitable coin to mine and has been for quite a while. When you go on CoinGecko and you click max on the chart, this is a cryptocurrency that is up over 30,000%. And yet, it's still down from its all-time high. I'm Vosk, you're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I've been working hard to build out my mining farm, and I have over 20 Doge miners. Is it actually worth buying a Dogecoin miner over a Bitcoin miner or a different altcoin miner? And has Doge mining actually been a profitable endeavor for me over the last couple of years? Let's dig into it. Doge, 17 cents a coin, top 10 cryptocurrency. Clicking over to mining now, supporter of VoskCoin, which is cool. Mining profitability calculator, clicking LTC, it shows me all the Doge miners here. And you see a lot of miners here in double-digit profitability, even in these market conditions, which to be frank, are mediocre. And that's calculated at my electricity rate of 7.5 cents per kilowatt hour. L9 was the best Doge miner for a little bit. The Volcminer D1s actually outpace it in profitability due to higher hash but a higher power consumption, and that is at a bit of an efficiency loss. Elphapex has released their new series of miners. No one has them yet, but you know, they've been very forward on pricing and specs and an ETA and all that stuff. To be frank, they're basically just Antminer L9s, but that means that Bitmain's going to turn around and release an L9 Plus or an L9 Pro or something that's probably a little more powerful, a little more efficient. We'll see. Either way, earning 10 plus bucks a day after accounting for an electricity bill is a pretty exciting thing. Doge puts out nearly $500,000 in coin every day, and more than that after you account for Litecoin. All right, never mind. Thanks for nothing mining pool stat stream. Wrong. Doge puts out about 2.5 million, and then Litecoin bolsters that up with another 300,000. So we nearly have $3 million in emission every day. Yes, that pales in comparison to Bitcoin 50 million emission, but there's a lot less competition there. So let's just kind of cut to the chase, right? Is Dogecoin mining worth it? Yes. Is it too late to mine Dogecoin? No. But is Dogecoin actually the right move right now? That's what we need to figure out. That's what I need to figure out, right? With active Dogecoin mining taking place on my farm, some of these machines are barely worth running or are kind of outdated. Some of them are latest generation. Things like the DG Max to old mini Doge miners and the L9 and beyond. And then I have several mini Doges that are offline right now that I use to heat my garage in the cooler months. 15 miners, huge variance in hash rate here. This adds up to an average 24-hour hash rate of about 133 gigahash a second, 134 gigahash a second. So I'm mining 0.18 LTC with that. LTC's trading like 90 bucks a coin. And then the important thing here is I'm mining about 600 to 700 Doge a day. So let's be optimistic. Let's take the high side of that. That's about 120 bucks. In Dogecoin every day. And then I take the LTC here. I believe we said 0.18, $87 a coin, 0.18. So about $16 rounded up, 16, 120, 136. Pretty easy math. Daily mining profitability there from about 15 machines. And some of those, again, are our latest gen. Pretty efficient, not a huge, just suck on the electricity bill there. Again, at a glance, you know, the profitability is interesting. The pricing is less interesting, but still, you know, potentially acceptable, feasible in the equation. We look at Coin Mining Central, miner reseller. We're an affiliate with them. We have coupon code VoskCoin to save some coin over there. Multiple models here. Had a good experience with them over the years. For what it's worth, about $9 grand before we discount it for the Antminer L9 in stock, ready to go. You could also pay a premium to have it shipped right now from a USA based facility there. I always like to address this. So I'm so thankful that the VoskCoin YouTube channel has gained some subscribers over the years. Incredible, fun, exciting opportunity. I post a reseller and people say, oh, you're just selling out, you just want an affiliate link. Okay, well, let's talk about that. Let's go to Bitmain. Okay, come over here to Bitmain. You can buy it right now for 9 grand. This price actually just recently dropped too. So 9 grand there, 9 grand here. We have a coupon code for here, no coupon code for there. Bitmain has a bullshit coupon system where basically you need to spend a lot of money to utilize that properly. Furthermore, you'll be paying shipping on top of this. Furthermore, you will paying not only tariffs, but like full-blown huge marked up tariffs. You will pay like 25% plus on this price. I pay much less, if nothing at all, with Coin Mining Central, depending on the miner and when it's ordered and things like that. Let's look at the Elphapex miners. 9 grand, same price as the L9, more hash. 8 grand, same hash as the L9, lower price, right? These are coming soon. These are, face pricing here, not accounting for discounts, things like that. Elphapex is really trying to show up here and trade blows. If we head over to their official website, their official shop and pricing, it's all higher here. In this era, unless you're buying in the orders of millions or at least $250,000, using a reseller normally results in better pricing. Volcminer manufacturing is not really impressive here on this front. Their D1 minis, kind of interesting, but at 1,400, I'd rather just go to 3,000 something and some change, get 5.3 gigahash instead of 2.2 gigahash with the Fluminer. However, it's got an awful name, and I wasn't super impressed with mine out of the box there. And to be honest, I'm not a big proponent of at-home, small-scale Doge mining anymore in this era, because there's just so many big boy Doge miners coming that are just going to keep obliterating the smaller scale profits, right? We go down to the Fluminer, $4 a day for $3,400 before discounts and stuff, before the new miners hit. We'll see they have a pro model. It's not really any different. It's more hash, more power, same efficiency there. To be straight here, right, and to illustrate my point, because I researched this of, do I invest in more Dogecoin miners? Do I invest in Bitcoin miners? And then, that's for me personally here on my mining farm build, and then I just turn around and make a video here and share it here on the tube. So I open source my research, if you will. I look at the pricing on this stuff, and then I see that I can get into Bitcoin miners, right, that earn as much money in coin mine per day or more for a similar miner price or less, right? The Bitdeer Seal Miner A2 is like the best bang for buck Bitcoin miner right now. And my electric rate, which, so these things cost me like $6-7 a day to run, I'm clearing like $10 a day in Bitcoin mined with a machine that only cost me about 3 grand. S21 Plus just dropped pricing. It's kind of a crappier version of the Pro, but the Pro for me was also an awful experience. But that was a bit of a dud, but there's a lot of dud S21s, but that's not really the point. The point is I can get into these machines. Right, you look at DG1 Plus pricing, it's like 1.5x to double the pricing, same daily mining profitability. I just don't know why you would go for a shit coin, a meme coin, a literal joke compared to Bitcoin, as opposed to a Bitcoin miner when these are all industrial scale miners. On that are worth buying here on the Dogecoin mining front, for double the price. Doge could double in price, and then these would be pretty interesting. These are pretty lucrative. I think that'll happen this cycle, but how long will it stay there? I think Bitcoin has a lot of upward trajectory still, and has more staying power. And I just really struggle to, every fucking video turns into, why would I buy this when I could just buy a Bitcoin miner lately? But just everything points back to it. It's just like, why? Like, why would I spend nearly 10 grand on these Dogecoin miners when I can order the best current generation Bitcoin miners, earn similar daily mining profitability on something that is a bit more stable there, or beyond? But I guess to get to the point here, if I am going to buy a Doge miner, I'm looking at the DG2, the DG2 Plus, but honestly, I'd probably just go for the L9 I will say in particular, I have always had fantastic Antminer L3s, L3 pluses, L3 plus pluses, which is old school Dogecoin miners at this point. It's weird to say. As well as the Antminer L7, the Antminer L9s. All of mine have been great. Not the L9s I haven't tested, but the L7s, great in air cooled, great in immersion. They've been really good miners from Bitmain, unlike some of their Bitcoin miner releases that have had a high failure rate, in particular, again, the S21 series there. So, you know, I'm still looking at this one. I think we'll see some price corrections here. I think that we'll see a new, more powerful miner model from Bitmain, and you can save maybe a couple bucks and get an Elphapex miner. My Elphapex miners have been fine and air cooled and did not work well at all for me when I tried to immerse them. My Volcminers have been fine, but it's not something that I want to get heavily entrenched with without some kind of great deal. And you know that they'll happily price gouge you if they get the opportunity to do so. Fluminer is like, who the hell are you and where did you come from, and will you get me sick if I use you? Pretty much looking at the Antminer L9, if I'm you and I want to take a risk, save a couple bucks, looking at the Elphapex DG2s there. The smaller scale miners, I think we're going to see a new Elphapex DG home miner sooner than later. The Volk D1 Mini is a decent home miner. The Fluminer is a decent home miner. I don't know if Gold Shell's dead or something. Maybe we'll see a new mini Doge that has decent efficiency here sooner or later. They've really fallen off hard in this cycle, which disappointing to see with their big focus on small scale mining rigs. But anyway, that's where my head's at on all this stuff. It's sad to say, but it's just mining is just going more and more industrial, big scale, and it's just harder to like get into these smaller miners. Like there's like the risk versus reward, like the risk keeps getting higher, the reward keeps getting lower. And at some point it's like, you know, these little miners are efficient, but if they only earn like a couple dollars a day, it's just not that interesting. I don't want to spend a couple grand to earn a couple dollars a day. And it's just, when you really extrapolate out this data of after accounting for, say, my electricity bill here on the DG2, right? So I earn 13 bucks a day projected on that, 365, $4,750, right? So, you know, I have a 1.5 to 2 year break even without a pump on a shit coin. Right, I can get better break-even projections on none other than Bitcoin. Bitcoin mining is too strong right now, and altcoin mining is too weak right now. Followed up with Ethereum Classic mining being a poor investment over the last year. Alio mining has been a poor investment over the last year. Caspa mining has been a poor investment over the last year. Radiant mining has been a poor investment over the last year. Let's see, other Alpha mining has been an abysmal investment over the last year. And how do I get to say all this? Well, maybe I'm a full-time researcher guy. Yeah, sort of. But I literally have all these machines. I got all these machines. Thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to be on the front line in the trenches and the stuff. Some machines were received to review, yes. Some were not received for free. Okay, and I look back and I'm like, everything I should have acquired should have just been Bitcoin and Dogecoin, and I'd be in a much better place. But at this time, is it still good to keep expanding on the Doge front, right? Doge has doubled since the bear market. How much more can it go? What can it sustain, and for how long? Because the mining piece of this equation, like, it needs to be good long term, right? And I'm not interested in buying gear and flipping gear. That's not my thing. That's not my thing. So I don't want to buy a bunch of stuff and then it pumps and it's like real profitable and then turn around and I sell my rigs for 2x. It's not why I'm here. When I get gear, I pretty much look to deploy it here on the farm until it dies. That's why I've worked so hard to have so much electrical capacity out here. I've never wanted to be the guy who gets a bunch of shit and turns around and tries to flip it on his subscribers and stuff like that. It's disingenuous. I will say, though, just so this doesn't get flipped on me, there are a bunch of small miners that I do want to get rid of, because managing over 100 mining rigs basically by myself is becoming cumbersome, tedious, and it's just a time suck for me, right? So I want to get rid of all the smaller ones, all the mini miners, all the everything on the small front, other than some stuff I keep and use at the house. Because on my mining farm, I just really want the bigger gear, the industrial stuff. I'd rather have, say one L9 instead of 20 mini Doges. It just doesn't make sense from a mining operator point of view. But anyway, that's the situation. That's the scoop. That's the snapshot. I'm Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Hope you like it. Please subscribe. We're chasing 1 million subscribers. Can't retire until I get there, so I need your help. So if you hate me, subscribe so I retire sooner. And if you like me, subscribe so I hit that goal. And maybe I won't retire when I get there, but don't tell the guys that subscribe because they hated me. 10 seconds of tails. It's a classic we do on every video. See you later.